Hey, welcome back. It's Monday, April 7th, and I want to just give you a reassurance message that despite all the noise we're hearing, all of the chaos, all the entropy, all of the bloodbath that we're seeing in the financial markets around the world, not just in the US, before I give you some of the good news, because we always have to remain optimistic, one of the major reasons that I can think of as to why this is happening, because there's always a hidden agenda involved. This is the problem that we have with the elite, whether it's government officials in any country or even companies, big companies. There's always a hidden intention, a hidden agenda. You have to think back, step back and ask yourself, why is he doing this? If you remember, one of the main electoral pledges was to bring down the cost of living, to bring down inflation, to bring down taxes so he can bring in and attract new business into the country in order to help him fulfill some of these innovative growth industries in the country like crypto, AI. And also, on the one hand, he needs to think of getting extra sources of revenue. So what better way that he can do, given that he has under his fingertips one of the largest capital financial markets in the world. He has the three indices where any decisions he imposes, it will have a dramatic effect, positive or negative, on the financial markets in the US. So what better way to tank the market, right, in order to bring down the cost of future interest rate payments? Because remember, he has almost $9 trillion of previously issued bonds, government bonds, that are close to maturing. And he needs to think about printing more money by issuing a new source of government bonds into the debt market, albeit under a reduced interest rate for the next 10 years of these bonds. That is one of the main reasons, and that is the hidden agenda, I think, for why he's doing this, because there is no other explanation that I can think of. So this is the hidden agenda, I think, and it's unfortunate for the US because what he's doing is irreparable, because he's now treading really on thin ice. And it's not just the economic damage he's imposing, he's inflicted upon himself and his country, unfortunately, the reputational damage of the US that was once a reliable partner. Now he's actually completely obliterated that image of the US as a reliable partner, a reliable trading partner, that is. All right? Because we all live in a globally interconnected world. It just doesn't make sense to impose any tariffs on thy neighbor, right? Because there's a saying, what goes around comes around, because we all have to prosper together, because we are all in this world together, whether you like it or not. And it's really unfortunate that I have to say this, but this is the God honest truth. We all have a right to prosper. So this is the hidden agenda that he has, and it's rather unfortunate because now I just seen another podcast from von der Leyen, the European Commission president, where she's actually made a press release, because I think the Norwegian Prime Minister was visiting Brussels today. And she made a rather interesting release in that, of course, there's a lesson learned to be drawn from this, in that the EU are going to be broad in the net to look out for other trading partners beyond the US. In fact, she made a mention that 17% of the world's addressable market in trade resides in the US, but there is a whopping 83% untapped addressable market under the clutches of the EU to exploit. And this is exactly what she's released in the press release at Brussels today. Very, very interesting. And why she's doing this? Because of the reputational damage that Trump is doing with the imposition of this tariffs. So he now has to worry about how on earth he's going to recover from this debacle. Not just the economic damage he's imposed, but also the reputational damage of his country as a whole. So let's not drawn into this noise. Let's stick to our own convictions. If we are passionate with the investment decisions that we've made, whether it's on equity stocks or in digital assets such as Bitcoin, we need to stick to those investment decisions into the long term, into the long haul, and move yourself away from this noise, and please divorce yourself from this entropy and chaos, because this is another hidden agenda that many elites have at their disposal. They want to cause this chaos and scaremongering in order to bring down prices, bring down future investment decisions at a discount. And that's why another lesson drawn that we are seeing is Bitcoin, the first time in its 16-year history, we are seeing a new characteristic that is emerging, in that Bitcoin is decoupling itself away from TradeFi, from traditional financial markets behavior. And the proof is in the pudding, because if you look at all of the asset classes, and we can all agree, left, right and center, we have seen a huge battering in terms of price of all the assets out there. But Bitcoin, even though it has dipped, is actually outperformed during this turmoil period, which is the first time we are seeing this. And this is what I mean by the decoupling effect from TradeFi that we're seeing on Bitcoin is rapidly becoming, slowly but surely, that risk-off asset. In fact, better than gold, because gold has actually dipped as well. Very interesting. So this is going to be the testing period, testing waters for embedding that final characteristic into Bitcoin as that safe haven asset. So let's stick to our own convictions, to our own investment decisions. Let's not fall into the trap of panic selling, please. Always have this long-term horizon under our wings, and to use this as an opportunity to park some of your extra cash, if you have any, into Bitcoin, because rest assured, when the dust is settled, and it will settle, this has to bottom out eventually, we're going to be the ones coming out reigning supreme. And you remember, there's an English saying, who laughs last, laughs the loudest. So that's the last sign I want to leave you today. So don't despair, have your chin up, and I'll see you next time.